Now we would like to welcome the Honorable Mayor of Lower Hutt in New Zealand, Mayor Campbell Barry. Good afternoon from Manila, Mayor.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on.
And thank you for this interview. First of all, we would like to congratulate New Zealanders for being successful in defeating the coronavirus. Yesterday, you recorded no new cases or deaths from COVID-19 for the second day in a row. And you are now in alert level 3. What measures are currently in place to combat the spread of the coronavirus or COVID-19 over there?
Yeah, so I think the actions of the government in tackling this early has been really crucial to stopping the spread and combating COVID-19. So, my hat certainly goes off to the actions of the Prime Minister and the government in doing that and going hard and obviously doing a significant amount of testing to understand where we're at. I wouldn't say we've won yet. We know that countries around the world have seen a drop in numbers, but later on have seen an increase. So we are really conscious that while we're in a very enviable position and we're doing well, we've still got some way to go before we can be confident that we've defeated COVID-19.
We hear that testing is key in controlling the spread of the coronavirus. How available is COVID-19 testing in Lower Hutt?
Yeah, so we have testing right across the city here in Lower Hutt. We have mobile camper vans that go around to communities that are less likely to be able to access some of the medical centres where you'd traditionally be able to get it. And also we're focusing on making sure we get good testing from Māori and Pacifica communities to make sure that we understand if there's been any spread whatsoever there. For us, we haven't seen a new case since April the 5th, which is a really positive sign. But again, we know that one person with COVID-19 who may not know they have it does risk a spread out there, and the restrictions that are in place now are important so we can get on top of it. But of course now we've got to start thinking about how we balance that with being able to reopen our local economy and our country to be able to make sure that we don't lose too many jobs and the economy gets working again.
I understand that there is the primary phase you were talking about it, of tackling the coronavirus, and that is through primary care and other pandemic infection, prevention control measures. The transfer and infection must be controlled, but there's also a parallel complication in dealing with the even bigger economic crisis to follow. And how is the New Zealand government, specifically Lower Hutt, planning for the next phase of this problem? Those whose jobs and businesses that were affected, especially there in Lower Hutt, how are they being addressed?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and we're looking now to be heading towards level 2, so we've got a 4-level system, and that will enable us to open up a significant part of our local economy and mean that businesses can start working again. We know that as a local council, working alongside the government, infrastructure projects are going to be absolutely vital in leading us out of any type of recession. So we want to make sure that we get on with projects like we've got one called a Nine-Eye Pool, which is a $55 million aquatic centre. We want to make sure that those types of projects are a part of any recovery and helping us get out of a recession, supporting jobs and also supporting other local businesses as well.
In response to the coronavirus, sir, the coronavirus emergency, you announced that you would donate 10% of your salary over the next 12 months to local community groups and charities there. Is this true, sir?
Yeah, so for me, it was an important gesture to make. We know that people right across our city and communities are struggling, and many of them have lost incomes, and business people who are really, really doing it tough. So for me, I'm in a fortunate position to be able to do that, and I think it's an important gesture in showing that, while that's a very small amount versus what some other people are facing, it does acknowledge the issue, and I think it gives us the ability to then make some more difficult decisions that will be coming before us as well as political leaders.
Now that most countries are reopening, what is the criteria of Lower Hutt for reopening its economy, and what risk do you think will need managing?
Yeah, so as we head to level 2, we'll take our guidance from central government and they're going to be announcing tomorrow what a level 2 looks like. So we're going to be working quite closely with them and making sure that we're working with the rest of the region. We know that there also may be a regional approach, so certain sections of the country may move into a different level depending on what their specific circumstances are. So we're waiting to see what direction comes from central government in that space, but we certainly want to be able to get us local services up and running and enable businesses to operate as best as they possibly can and safely as soon as possible.
Lower Hutt has a population of nearly 109,000. How many Filipinos are there in your city, and are they composed mostly of highly skilled overseas workers? I heard many are in public and health sectors as well. Many have migrated and become part of the Wellington community. How have they been helping out during this time of the pandemic?
Absolutely, and that's a really good question. And we've got around 1,000 here in Lower Hutt, and I've actually spoken to a few of them now, probably about 5 or 6, and a number of them are part of the essential workforce who are working in our hospitals, in particular in healthcare, and my hat really goes off to them and the efforts that they've been making as part of the team of 5 million that we have here in New Zealand. But I'm really proud that they have been part of that response and supporting those who are doing it tough here in our community, and they play a really big role, and I'm really lucky to be the mayor of a city that has such a strong Filipino presence, and it's something we can be really proud of.
Please tell me a little bit about your family and how you're coping with the current situation. You're the youngest mayor ever elected in New Zealand. How young are you, sir, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so I'm 28, so the youngest to be elected to a city, and yeah, a little bit unique, but I certainly feel a lot older over the last few months, and it feels like I've been in this position for a bit longer, given everything that's going on. And I know I've got a few more grey hairs as well, so that might make me look a bit older. But yeah, my family, we're very lucky. We've got a bit of land where we are and some animals and quite a bit of space to be able to, go into our rooms and do our work. So yeah, quite lucky. But it's been also a good time, I suppose, to be able to spend more time with them. And I know that's the same for a lot of people here in Lower Hutt, New Zealand and the world, that one of the silver linings is to be able to unite back with family. And actually that's probably a big part of everyday life that sometimes we take for granted. And I think it's come to the forefront here.
And finally, sir, I don't want to take up much of your time. What do you hope people will take away from this experience?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we can take away, and I hope we take away, is the importance of community and the importance of working together. That's something which often in our busy daily lives, when we're focused on going to work, paying the bills, just getting the basics done, knowing the importance of being involved in your local community and supporting others. And I think it shows that when we work together as a city, a country, and as a world with a common cause, we can move mountains. So I hope that how we've worked in tackling this, and while we're certainly not there yet, we've made really good progress, we can translate that to other issues that we face right across the globe.
Thank you very much, and good luck out there, Mayor. Take care, look out for each other's health, stay healthy and alert. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you. Great to be on.